Oh my God. To this day, to this day, Oleksandr Usyk is considering a summertime fight with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from, oh my God, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. To this day. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, the manager and friend of Oleksandr Usyk, he spoke on a potential fight that could happen in 2026. Happy New Year. It is New Year's Eve as of me recording this video. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. Let's have a great 2026. Shout out to everybody for supporting me. A lot of you guys sent me the year in review, and my channel was a top channel that you watched online on YouTube. I appreciate that. 2026 will only be better. Shout out to everybody for the super chats, the cash apps, and rock with your boy. You know, we're going to turn it up in 2026. Now, quote, Wilder is one of the best names that Usyk didn't fight yet. This is what Aegis Clemens, the manager, said. Wilder is still in good shape, and he's still in the fighter. He's still a fighter. So it is interesting, as well as it being in the United States, right? And he believes this is one of the best names in Usyk's generation that he has yet to fight, so they can make something happen with the fight. Now, my thoughts are this. I've been a Wilder fan. I like Wilder. I like the energy he brought to the game. But boxing continues to do this, and it is so frustrating from a fan perspective, where you have fights that at one point they could have been very special. Like, the world would stand still for some of these fights. That's the type of polarity. That's how polarizing some of these fights, when they're appetizing, when they have that luster, when they're prime versus prime. And I feel like the times where boxing got it right and two people fought at the perfect time, it was a movie, and the world enjoyed it. The world paid for it, and everything clicked. Like, for example, and I know this one's a little bit different because it's not like pure boxer versus pure boxer, but when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, I don't know what you're thinking. Who the I ate that. I ate that. Don't drink that, and I drank that. Right? Conor McGregor was on top of the world when he fought Floyd. Floyd, we already know. Like I said before, at the end of the day, it's hard work and dedication. It's like my father told me, right? Floyd, we already know he's unbeaten, perfect record, so anytime is a great time because no one could beat him. But for Conor McGregor, the time in which they fought was perfect. He had beaten Eddie Alvarez, vicious knockout. Jose Aldo, vicious knockout. Chad Mendez, right? And he was a polarizing personality in UFC, and really the biggest star, because he was bigger than Ronda Rousey. It was him and Ronda Rousey, kind of the biggest people in the UFC at the time. And Conor was the king of that. Because Conor, I feel like Conor was always more likable than Ronda Rousey. Let's be real. Let's be real. And he's more of a showman. He would trash talk. Who the f is that? Like, it was just different. So the year they fought, which I went to the fight, cover fight week for you guys. The year they fought was like the pinnacle. Versus if Floyd were to fight Conor McGregor now for the first time, it wouldn't be the same. Because Conor McGregor, since that point, he lost to Habib Nurmagomedov and tapped. He lost to Dustin Poirier by stoppage, lost again to Poirier, broke his ankle or leg or whatever. And he fight Cowboy Cerrone and won by shoulder checking him. You know what I mean? He's been off for too long. You know, he was in the Roadhouse movie. That was cool. but ultimately he's been out the way. So it wouldn't be an in prime fight right now if they were fighting for the first time. So that's case in point. Back to Wilder and Usyk, same kind of concept. It's like, man, if you would have sold me Wilder, Usyk 4 or 5 years ago, chef's kiss. You know, I'll be like, yes, take my money. Now it's a fight that I will watch just out of curiosity, but it's definitely not the same as it could have been. And same thing with Wilder and Joshua, right? You had these two brothers from different sides of the pond, USA, go America, UK, and they both had belts. It would have been an undisputed fight. Everybody in boxing wanted to see it, and they didn't get it together. And I know who was at fault, but I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. My old ish, I already talked about it. My opinions on whose fault it really was has been out. But now there's bigger, more pressing things. Joshua was just in a horrific accident that claimed 2 lives. I made content about it. Check that out. Prayers to Joshua. Prayers to the family members, the friends, and the fans, and anybody impacted by that. That was a horrific sight, and it's unfortunate. We're about to enter a new year, and then you got 2 close confidants and friends that aren't able to make it in. So it's not even about Joshua fighting. I think Joshua needs a lot of time off. But just for this example, Wilder and AJ at a point in time would have been the biggest fight in boxing for me, right? But same thing with Usyk. There was a personal best time, and to me, that time has already kind of went over. Like even Wilder's last fight, he fought Shaw. No, he didn't even fight Shaw. He fought the other dude, you know what I mean, on BLK Prime. And some of y'all didn't even watch it. Versus when Wilder's with Al Heyman and PBC, everybody was watching the whole movement, all the Stavern fights, all the Helenius fights, the Tyson Fury fights, of course, right? The Luis King Kong Ortiz. We was all glued to the tube for that Wilder run. But I watched the fight on BLK Prime, but I'm talking about y'all. This is my job. So, of course, I'm going to do my job. I'm the best at it. Now, as far as the fight, most people wouldn't say Wilder's in his prime. Wilder did talk about fighting and continuing to fight for 10 more years. That's his personal choice. But I feel like Usyk is definitely a special fighter. He got experience from the Chisora fight, the AJ fights, Tyson Fury fights, winning the World Boxing Super Series. He's more in his prime, even though he's about 38 years old. He looks fresher, you know what I mean? And he's more spry, very agile. It's just a different fight than what it could have been. For this fight, Wilder, people always kind of question the technique. Don't sweat the technique. They always kind of question the technique, but Wilder was able to do things athletically and kind of get away with maybe bad habits or perceived flaws because of that immense power. But now, if you're not in prime and then one guy is closer, even though he's 38, still kind of closer to his prime, he's like 40 years old. I feel like Wilder's chance to win would be by knockout. He would have to knock out Usyk, which, again, the curiosity factor in me and everyone else, we're going to watch it. But in terms of, I don't know what the sports book and all that is going to look like at this point in time, because it's hard when it's kind of like Canelo versus Crawford. I told you that. I was like, if Crawford can deal with Canelo's size and power and the newness of being in a new division, he gonna cook him. That's what I said, right? The only question in there was Crawford, how does he deal with the new weight class and Canelo's power? And once he seemed to be coping with that very easily, then it was a runaway fight. That's kind of how I look at Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Wilder is going to have to use brute force. And when you look at Wilder's last fight on BLK Prime, that guy was nowhere near Usyk, and it took several rounds, probably longer than expected. Like, in my opinion, Wilder fought that same type of dude, right, back when his run was insane, the Terrell Herndon dude, right? It took 7 rounds out of a scheduled 10 to knock him out. And it wasn't even it wasn't his most posterizing highlight reel type of knockout that he's capable of. You know what I mean? So Wilder in his prime, I feel like he puts that guy away in definitely less than 4 rounds. But it took 7 here. And he was throwing hard. He has the conviction of a fighter, you know. His heart, you can never take that away from Wilder, but it looked like he slowed up, you know, since losing to Fury, especially. I think the 3 Fury fights took something out of him physically, mentally, going through breakups and divorces and all that. Joseph Parker, Zhang, you know, there's some wear and tear there. But we would still watch it because it's boxing, but boxing is famous for giving us the fights a little bit too late, like Amir Khan, Kell Brook, stuff like that, where even Crawford versus Canelo, I feel like there was a time where Canelo wasn't as washed, and it would have probably been a bigger fight, but Canelo kept cherry picking, and Crawford, I don't know. It's just, there was more opportune times for it. Let me know what you think. For more boxing news, subscribe. Happy New Year. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.